What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Hope you guys had a great week. What's up, everybody? All right, right now in the house, we got nothing. Dean Starkey. I always want to catch the streams live, but it's always late in England. I have to get up at 4 a.m. for work. Genuinely, streams are what I look forward to watching when I get home exhausted. Oh, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you like watching these streams. We got Steven in the house, K-Bar, Raw, Mets fan, Texas Snake, KO, Dark Apocalypse, Terry Floyd, Truth and Faith. What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Hope you guys were able to grab all your books this week. I'm seeing a lot of comments about it being a light week, not that great of a week. Well, let me tell you, I got 12 books to go over today, and I ended up missing out on Dead Seas number 6. I think that was the only one I wasn't able to read this week. It was a little rough one this week, I'm going to be honest. Some of these books, I mean, granted, so we're going to be going through, so Marvel, we got Thor. I think that was the only Marvel book I've read. I didn't grab Storm, and I didn't read Warlock or Fury. So I think it's just Thor. We got Radiant Pink. So we got Thor. We got the cover B for Radiant Pink. That's the end of the series. We got Terror War number 2. Horror from Boom Studios. Black Tape number 4. End of the series from AWA. Upshot. Indigo Children to talk about. Ambassadors number 5 to talk about. What's the furthest place from here? And then the crossover event, Supermassive. And then I had to read digitally City Boy from DC. I ended up reading The Neighbors number 3 from Boom Studios. I've been talking heavy shit on that one, but I ended up reading it anyway. And then from Dark Horse, I missed out on Blue Book number 4. I think it's number 4. But I ended up reading it digitally. So I've got those to talk about today with you guys. But, you know, I gotta admit, it was... Like I said, it was a little tough one to get through. All right, Lost in Comics, what up, my brother? How you doing today? Raw Wrangle, I missed the top 10 list. I feel you on that. I like streaming, and I also hate editing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate editing. This is just a lot more fun. I like talking to everybody. Let's see. Hi, Michael, man, I'm doing really good. I hope you're doing well today. Dark Apocalypse, I've been waiting for this. Just read Within Temptation. I don't know how to feel about it. Love the art, but kind of confusing story. Which one was Within Temptation? I actually remember somebody talking about that the other day. Oh, that's the Opus one. That's the Opus one. Gotcha. Let's see. Move that out of the way. Here until 7, then I gotta cook. What about the news, man? At 6:30. Oh, I'm kidding, man. But that's cool. You'll be back then. Supermassive related or integral to Radiant Black? No, it's literally just a crossover story. You got the Dead Lucky, Rogue Sun, and Radiant Black. A couple of those characters all coming together. Surprising thing for me this week are how many people are buying the 007 series. Not for me, my friend. This is going to sound crazy to you, but I have not seen most of the 007 movies. I bring it up. I mean, the spy espionage shit, it's not my thing. It's got to be really unique. And I just feel like they're not really that unique of movies. Well, probably stories too. Daredevil been great. Not looking forward to Daredevil and Echo. I heard it was good. I forget who said it. Somebody said it in the Discord. It was surprisingly a really good one. I didn't pick it up though. The artwork looked okay. But I just said screw it. I didn't really get into it. Trent, nothing, my man. We just went live a couple minutes ago. So we're just getting all the what's ups out of the way, seeing how everybody is doing. And we're going to be jumping right into it. What did KO say? Indigo, Ambassadors, and Daredevil. Oh, damn. Daredevil and Echo was that good. I think it was you that said... KO, I think it was you that said it in Discord that Daredevil and Echo was surprisingly really good. News is on in the background. Awesome. But I don't know. Outside of you, I don't think I know anybody that picked it up. But it looks like Lost in Comics said it. Not bad either. So, well, spot on. So, we'll see how it goes. But like I said, I got 12 to go over. I don't want to waste any of your time. I want to jump right into this. I do have to add a couple pictures that I totally forgot to do. Surprise, surprise. I usually do. So I'm going to add those really quickly while we get some more people in the house. It's just the 3. So what do you guys pick up this week? What books did you like the most? Let's see. Trenton says he skipped Daredevil and Echo. Marvel one-shots are hit and miss for me. Was that a one-shot? I thought that was a mini-series. Same thing with Fury. Somebody said Fury was surprisingly really good too, and that it was just a one-shot. But I also thought that was just a mini-series. But I guess I was wrong with that one. Let's see. Bear with me. I'm just adding the pictures. So we're going to put that, we'll put it right there. Nice little picture right there. I can't believe I ended up grabbing The Neighbors again. I continuously talk so much shit on that series, and I'm going to be honest with you. The Neighbors, I mean, we're going to get into it more, but this issue was the best issue of all of them. We'll put it that way. And then City Boy was a solid ass series too. Hope you guys were able to check that one out. And I just got one more to add really quickly, and we can jump right into these reviews. But I want to say thank you again, everybody, for taking time out of your day to come and hang out, talk some comics with us. I always have a lot of fun doing this, and if you are new, I always go over the reviews first, and then we head on into the tier list, and we just rank. I kind of talk about the books again, but then we just rank all of the books, A through D. I almost put the Marvel tier list as D this week. I always talk about doing it, but, you know, one of these times I actually will. And then Blue Book. Was it 4? It is number 4. All right. There's all those books. All right, folks. Here we go. I got, like I said, this was a little bit rough of a week. I got a big cup of water because I'm gonna need it for this list. Speaking of, I don't know if any of you have Wawas in your area. Or you go to Wawa, but Wawa got these new lids. It's like a knockoff Starbucks lid, and so you don't have to use a straw anymore. They are nice. All right. Let's check out some of these comments. Raw Wrangle says Echo, all right, is a series 4-part. All right, cool. Because I was gonna say I thought it was a mini series. Still have to make my run. Oh, was that Steven? Was the Ambassadors issue 3? That was the Travis Charest. How the hell you say his last name? I think it's Charest. I think that was that issue. Yeah, that's all right. That probably is because he says the art you wanted most. Pedro, what's up, buddy? Symbiote Central, what's up? Okay, I'm glad you like City Boy too. How much does Echo tie into the main ongoing? I can't imagine. Like I said, I didn't read it, but I can't imagine it ties into it at all. Terry didn't buy anything this week. I mean, you know, there were some good books. I thought there were some good ones, but I can totally understand if you didn't pick a whole lot up. I skipped City Boy. Oh, dude, City Boy was awesome. City Boy was a very, very good read. Let me get these in order. I'm going to go. So we're going to talk about Marvel first, then we're going to get into Image and Boom Studios, and you know how we do. I try to save the best ones for last. And there we go. One from them. But that one's from Image. All right, now we're good. We are going to be starting this one off. Oh, Vanish was your favorite this week? I got to get back into Vanish. Austin, Sinus Infections. By Myself is a terrible book. Oh, wait. No, I read that wrong. I thought you had a sinus infection. Dude, I get those all the time. Torment. Storm was disappointing. Well, I'm glad I didn't get that one then. It looked okay. And the guys at the shop really weren't talking too highly of it. They were saying... they said she's... I mean, I don't want to put the words fully in their mouth, but the guy I was talking with said she's a pretty bad writer. So I was like, and the artwork's just okay. I don't particularly care about the X-Men to begin with. And... So I'm glad I didn't grab it then. Oh, Symbiote, oh, wait, I didn't know, but I assumed you were probably Spitzkoff. Because you're Symbiote Central, I think, on Instagram. I'm pretty positive. K-Bar, I'm shocked I got City Boy for free. Oh, nice. Oh, dude. And did not read it. You definitely should read it. I'm not going to say it's the best read of the week for me, because there are some really good ones, but it's absolutely up there. There are some good ones. There were some good ones. But, all right. Well, we'll get into them very shortly. We're going to start this one off with Marvel's latest and greatest fucking Thor. I hate Thor. I hate this series so much. Oh my goodness. We got Thor issue number 34. I'm going to bring up a review that I read online because when I finished reading this issue, I told myself, I said, you know what? I can't be the only one who just, at this point, low-key despises this series. I'm not enjoying pretty much any aspect of this issue. I finished it, and I thought, you know what? The cover's the best part of this issue. The writing, the artwork, the action, the dialogue, everything just flowing together. I do not think it's good at all. I saw Dwayne Zapane. What's the update on the eye? Any news? It doesn't look like... which eye is it? This one? It doesn't look like shit anymore, I don't think. Not as bad. They gave me something, and the way, I don't even know what it's called, some gel thing, and the way that he described it was, he's like, because he didn't want to cut it, he's like, oh, it's gonna melt it away, it's gonna melt the growth away. And I was like, all right, I mean, whatever. And I'm gonna be honest, it's not gone, but it does look way better. So I appreciate you asking, and everybody that makes fun of it, I appreciate you too, because we gotta have a good laugh at that type of shit. I mean, it is what it is. I like to have a good laugh. So, let's see. I appreciate that, K-Bar. I said I think it's been looking way better. So hopefully it actually goes away. Let's see. They're all just doing their classic characters dirty these days with bad writing. Oh yeah. So back to Thor. So KO says I got Thor, but only to finish the run. That's where I'm at, man. I'm ready for it to finish. I'm ready for it to be done. If I'm laughing, I appreciate that, Dwayne's a pain. So I tell myself, you know, as much shit as I do talk on Donny Cates' writing, I always say, you know, he's got great ideas. He doesn't execute them that well. I think he sets everything up perfectly, and then he gets so fucking bored of whatever he's writing, he just moves on to the next idea. And where we're at right now in the story is exactly what he set the entire series up for. Everything with Thor, or everything with Thanos, the whole Infinity Hammer or Infinity Mjolnir, all the dead, the zombies, whatever that was supposed to be, it's leading to that right now. They even brought Doctor Doom into the mix. And you're telling me that even though I've had my issues with the series, you can't deny that it wasn't at least a little epic to an extent. The beginning of the series had all the makings for a phenomenal Thor run, and to kind of solidify Donny Cates as like the writer for Marvel. Then he went into the Donald Blake stuff, and you know, there was a lot of really good shit going on in this series. But holy crap, everything that he worked for, this is the artwork that we're getting out of this. Everything that he wrote, everything that he built up, you're telling me this right here is the art for the series? Come on, Nick Klein, we need you back on it, bud. I'm pretty positive he did the cover for this one. I think he's still doing all the covers. Yeah, Nick Klein, cover artist. Go back to doing the art, my guy. You killed it. It works so well with the story. And now it just feels like a joke. Everything just feels like a joke in this series. And here's what I want to bring up, because like I said, I had to look it up. I had to look up what some other people were saying about this one. I just couldn't get past thinking that there's got to be, you know, I can't be the only one thinking that this is absolutely horrible. I found a review from comicbooksdispatch.com. I'm going to bring it up, and I think this truly summed it up perfectly. I think this little bit that whoever it is, is this person's name on here? This person actually didn't put their name on the article that they wrote, so that's a little odd. Either way, you guys gotta check this out here. All right, here's this person's review. I'll say this: the cover by Nick Klein is far better to look at than the rest of this book. Ain't that the fucking truth? I will come out and say that this reviewer is not a fan of the art by Juan Gedeon, but more than it just feels like it's not compatible with the story. That is spot on. What Donny Cates wrote and what's currently going on does not fit this artwork at all. Nick Klein was perfect for this series. It fails to bring to life the epic nature of this clash between Thor, Doctor Doom, and Thanos himself. Seriously, we've got those three titans duking it out in this series, just wrapping everything up at this point. And it's just thrown together as this mess. The dialogue is not flowing. The stories itself, I'm not gonna make the comparison. Let me put myself back on. I'm not gonna make the comparison and say that the way that it's written. All right, don't get too mad. I was gonna say the way that the story is kind of written reminds me to an extent like Jonathan Hickman. And before you say like, oh, how dare you? I don't mean this person's writing is even remotely as good as Jonathan Hickman's. I mean it as in Jonathan Hickman has this idea, right? So Jonathan Hickman, when he writes, he's not writing a story just about the town. Think of it that way. instead of just the town, he's talking about the streets in the town, the people that are in the town, the surrounding towns, the surrounding cities, the wildlife in this town, the cars that are driving through, the way that the buildings are. He's talking about every little detail and aspect of this town. Imagine this is kind of being written very similarly. She's writing about a town, except it's all just getting thrown together and none of it is making sense. She's going off in all of these different plot points in different directions, and it's just not really flowing well. And when it's finally getting to the final point, it's like, cool, it's over. I don't care what the actual point is of the issue, because it's such a I'm slogging to get through it. It's rough. And let me see what people are saying about it. Donny Cates has good ideas for the story, but not good at executing them. That's what I'm saying. I think he just gets very bored at it. Thor would benefit from the Miles artist. Something with an M. I can't remember off the top of my head either. The Prey arc was for Donald Blake. That was a great one. Mars and Lim are doing a decent job on Warlock. I didn't pick that one up. With great characters like that, Thor should be great, but it's only so-so. Yeah, it's just totally rough. And here's going back to what this person also said about it. It's like I said, it's so perfectly just well thought out. Just exactly what I was thinking about this series. Like I said in previous reviews, Gideon's art just looks too plain and static for this series, let alone this particular comic, and it's not the worst of it for this comic. Fair warning, there's always fucking spoilers. The comic is something that should be one of the best or most hype fights in Marvel Comics, as not one, not two, but three heavyweight characters in Marvel Comics are about to throw down against each other over a mysterious child. You've got Thor, Thanos, Doctor Doom, and it's a joke. The whole thing is a joke. Let me go back once again and show you some of this artwork if you didn't already catch my drift on it being an absolute joke. Look at the expressions on these characters. Everything just is so cartoonish. And let me show you Doctor Doom. Is that Doctor Doom that we want right now? No, it's absolutely not. I had to start off with this book because it's just so disappointing. It really is. It's probably my least favorite Marvel series that I'm reading right now, and I am willing to go out of my way to say that it is probably, at this point, once the new artist and writer took over, worse than Hulk. And I hated that Hulk series, and I'll tell you what, I'll keep reading Venom before I don't want to read either of them, but I'd rather read Venom than Thor at this point. Hey, Lyle, what's up, buddy? Oh, Federico Vincentini. Good call, Torment. But that's true, Capsule. Venom also sucks. Venom has been a rough series. Such an epic setup and pitch. Shame that's executed so horribly. See, that's the thing. And that's why I'm so disappointed in this entire series. If you've been following this for a while now, I've only been reading this for that ending. I've only wanted to find out what happens with the Infinity Mjolnir, with all the dead behind Thanos. That was an epic, such an epic picture. This is what it was. You know what? I have to bring this up and show you guys too. What was it? Thor, probably issue 5. Let's see. Let's see if we can get it. Yeah, here we go. All right, I don't think I can make the picture any bigger, but either way, look at this. Continue with ads. Or continue without disabling. I don't know. Look at that. That's what I got left on at the end of that first arc, and I was so pumped. I was like, you know what? This has the making to be an extremely epic series. I need to know what's going on with this. I'm excited to see what happens with it. And instead, I'll leave that up, and hopefully you guys can see that too. I'll bring up Thanos just so you can get a glimpse of Nick Klein compared to Gideon's right now, Thanos. That's the difference. It's not epic, it's cheesy, it's goofy, and like someone just said, cracked reference, it looks rushed and uncared for. It's a shame. It's an absolute shame. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to keep harping on it. It's just we're 34 issues deep. Whatever's going on in Donny Cates' life, I'm sorry. I hope everything is going well, and I hope things get better for you, and you can get back on comics and, well, outside of Vanish and doing what you truly love. But man, The wrong people took over your series, bud. Honestly. Todd Mealy, what's going on, buddy? Everything's going good with me. I hope things are too. Let's see. Hulk did have good art. I really like Ryan Otley. I saw someone talking shit on Ryan Otley for the writing, and it's like, oh, dude, he's terrible at writing Hulk. What's he gonna do? He only had like 3 issues, man. The whole series done. So I give him a pass on that series for the writing, but the artwork was good. Thor, Thanos, and Doctor Doom are 3 of my faves. I'm glad people are agreeing with this. I'm glad it's not just me. I don't think we're getting answers to that Thanos with the Black Stone. That's been the whole thing with the Black Stone. They introduced that in, what was it, Thanos Death Notes? I think that's what they called, or they started to talk about the idea of it, and then all of a sudden it's just, they're still hinting at it. They're traveling through time. I think they called it the time storm or something like that, and just it's just ridiculous at this point. Definitely a rush job. What else is he drawing? I have no idea what else he's drawing right now. Yeah, for Pedro, it's one of those things. It's not like he really had some big say in that Hulk series. They were done with it. Donny Cates was done with it. Marvel already, I think, announced at that point there's a Immortal Hulk coming, or they're getting ready to announce it, so they just wanted to move on. And I honestly think that that's what happened with this. I think they're at the point where they're like, let's just move on. It's not good. Let's see. Looks like Marvel's starting to move the best artists away from the lower selling titles again, like they used to do before the Avengers movie. I think Marvel's I think they've got some problems in their hands when it comes to comics. I really do. I'm not really, besides Miles Morales, which is very good, I am extremely excited for the new Hulk series with Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein on it. But right now, Marvel's comics are just, I'd be willing to say that since I got back into comics, I think maybe 2015 or sometime around there, this is probably the worst their comics have been in just a very long time. Everything I'm picking up is like, I don't want to read it. Raul, I will say Punisher is very good. I'm a couple issues behind, but Punisher has been very good. Punisher, Punisher, Miles Morales, Daredevil's been good. So those 3 ongoings that I can think of off the top of my head, I'm still really enjoying them. But the rest, it's like, ugh. Might as well save my money. I did hear the new Avengers series started off good. I didn't read it, though. Let's see. Marvel's so many books coming up, and 90% of them have really bad talent behind them. That's because they don't need all of these books. They don't need the 18 to 20 issues coming out every single week. They just don't. They don't need 4 Spider titles or Spider character titles. They don't need Daredevil and Daredevil Echo. They just don't need all of this stuff. It's overkill. Predator 2. Predator I'm not reading. I read the other Predator stuff and I thought it was really good. I think Marvel's doing a good job with non-superhero books. I think Predator's good. Alien's been good. I didn't read Planet of the Apes, the 2nd issue, but I really liked the first one. So I will say that. I submitted my Punisher vs. Predator idea to Marvel. Oh, that's cool, man. That would be awesome. I would love to read that. The Punisher Black Label one. It's just called, I think, Punisher. It's written by Jason Aaron. But that was the only... Moon Knight's been okay. I'd probably rank it or rate it like a 7. But that was the only one for Marvel I had this week. I want to get another one out of the way. Well, I got Boom Studios and then AWA. We'll do AWA next. Echo was around for some time. She came out the Daredevil Marvel Knights series. Next week's Punisher. I was going to say that's the last one, though. So this is another one, and this is another topic that kind of bums me out. So we're gonna be going over Black Tape. This is issue number 4. This is the final one in the series from AWA Upshot. I haven't truly been enjoying a lot of these AWA series like I used to. Like, if you've been following me for a while now, I've always said how AWA is my favorite publisher. They're always killing it. They're always doing a phenomenal job on their books. I'd say in the last year, though, there hasn't been as many hits as I would have liked. I love the Year Zero, Volume 0. That was great. Erratic Recharged was also a solid follow-up series. Fourth Man or Four Men, whatever that one was called. I think that came out last year. I don't remember. But overall, AWA hasn't been on top of their game like they have been in the past. I don't go into these series as much as I've used to. Like, oh, this is going to be really good. I'm really excited for this. It's like Absolution was good for the most part. Red or Black Tape, I didn't like the ending at all, and I think it was a little slow leading up to it. I liked the first couple of issues, but then number 3 wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and then 4 was kind of a bummer. Let's see. I have a feeling AWA isn't on their way out. Titles, that's it too. So titles have 100% dwindled over the last couple of months. They went from consistently every single week to very sporadic, and they've had their dates. Some of their dates have been getting pushed along too. So I don't know. I don't know what's been going on with them. I'm seeing some other things. I think they've been going downhill since Crimson Cage. Crimson Cage was great. So was Hotel. Last year, AWA was straight up killing it, and then Nada. That's what I'm saying. Last year, they had some really good books, and this year, it's just not. I mean, you know, you could always have a down year. Things could be whatever, but I think the way to really look at it is it's not that they're coming out with a title every single week and they just have a couple stinkers here and there. It's now all of a sudden the books are very sporadic. The dates aren't exactly what they say. Like, for example, if one was supposed to come out last week, it might be coming out next week now. There's always a couple delays going on, and they're not coming out on the weekly basis like they used to be. And I just hope that's not a sign that things aren't going well for them, because they are a good publisher overall. I think when you think of some of these indie publishers, AWA is still at the top. They're above and beyond compared to a lot of the other publishers. Are they like Image and Boom Studios? No. But I don't think that they are. I don't think they are what they were. I'll put it that way. Well, my wife has been pushing Crimson Cage on me. You should check it out. John Lees is fantastic at writing. I'm a big fan of his stuff. He's great at writing horror. He's also doing the one from Vault right now. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I know somebody in chat knows it. KO says Image left Diamond. I saw that. Yeah, Image is going strictly for the Lunar. Let me see if I can bring it up. Yeah, for those of you who didn't know, Image Comics exclusively joins Lunar for direct market distribution now. It's going to be starting, I believe, September. Effective with September on-sale titles, which will open for order on the Lunar site for retailers on Wednesday, which means going forward, Image's new comic book day is going to be on Tuesday, just like DC. So that's crazy. So I don't know. I don't really know how to do it because, you know, I don't really have a pull list. I just kind of show up and hope for the best. So if my Marvel books aren't available on Wednesday, but all of my Image books are available on Tuesday, you know, I'm going for my Image stuff. I don't want to miss out on those. Marvel's not selling out with my stuff anytime soon. I know you guys know that too. You guys go to your shop and there's a book you want. You know damn well the Marvel books are going to be on that shelf. And depending on what state you're in, those indies, they might not be there. So I don't know. Yeah, said they're going to make you go to the store 2 times a week now. I think what's going to happen for me is I think going forward, the Tuesday stream, once this all like kicks in, I think the Tuesday stream is going to be on Monday so we can talk about all the new books. And then I'll probably do this stream on Wednesday instead of Thursday, seeing that I'll get most of my books on Tuesday, and I'll see what I can do about possibly getting my Marvel books as well. No pull. Well, so the thing is, Raul, is that's a funny one. My take is that there's so many shitty titles on the market. And say you pick up number 1 and you're like, all right, this was good, but I don't know if is it good enough for number 2? Are you really going to put it on your pull list, get number 2, and then take it right off, or remember to take it right off by the time the next one comes out? I don't know. That's just me. So yeah, I go in there raw dogging for new comic book day. I just hope for the best. Batman goes fast. Not in my shop, man. The diamond ones stay, or DC. What am I thinking? Diamond. I was reading Austin's comment. DC books are almost always there. Marvel books never leave. My shop doesn't get a ton of Image. I will say that. They only get usually a few copies, so they go very quick. Same with Boom Studios for the most part. But outside of that, it's usually just Image and Boom Studios that really sells out. Let's see. Do we foresee Diamond shutting down here eventually? I do. Diamond sucks. Diamond's books always show up damaged. I mean, who do they have left besides Marvel? Marvel and a bunch of the other indie companies. And if we're being real here, a lot of the smaller indie companies haven't been doing so well this year. We saw what happened with Aftershock. We're questioning what's going on with AWA right now. And, you know, there's a lot. I mean, look at Scout Comics. Their shit that I talk about every single week is constantly getting delayed. I talk about some of those books week after week. Let's see. Why don't you start a poll list? My shop's cool enough to let me put books back after I arrive, but I'll see, you spend a lot of money. My thing is I feel bad doing that. I do. My shop, you know, we're not like some New York shop. We're not California. They do well, but they don't order a lot of new comic book day books to begin with. So for me, I'd be ordering a lot of stuff. I really would. And then I just, you know, I changed my mind on a lot because I always tend to stick around like the 12, usually about 12 books a week. So if my pull list, the ones I should be getting, ends up being like 15, 16 books, there I won't get 4 of the books. But if I ordered all 4 of them, then I would get all the 15, 16 books. But I don't want to pay for all of that. John, what's up, bud? Why don't I start a poll? Oh, yeah, I just read that. Image breaking from Diamond is nuts. That is. Just wait for Marvel to make the next move. If Marvel moves, that'll be the end of Diamond. But I want to keep going on Black Tape. So as I was saying, because we're talking about these books, this is the end of the series. I think it started off really strong. It started off kind of like a horror mystery. The main character is the wife. It's not the deceased. Well, he's deceased, but it's not the rock star husband. And he passes away, and she's trying to figure out, you know, what was he really up to all of these years? Apparently, he's not exactly who she thought he was, because all of these people, they're always saying, we're going to look out for you, we care about you, anything you ever need, we got you. But she doesn't know who a lot of these people are. He's a famous musician, and she's never seen some of these people before. And then things get a little creepy, and it turns into a good story because she's really concerned about all this weird shit going on, but she doesn't really know who to trust. So me, the reader, I'm reading it like, ooh, can we trust this character? What is this character's ulterior motives? Like, what's going on right now? But then the third issue, the third issue was okay. And I thought, you know what? I'm still excited for the final one. I'm not going to get too into it because obviously it is the series finale. And I know I have been hyping it up, so I know there are people who are looking forward to it too. I felt like it was a letdown though. Here's some of the artwork. I'm going to talk about who, the writer, Dan Panosian, and actually, is that? Yeah, writer and cover artist, Dan Panosian, and artist is Dalibor Talajic, colorist, I can't even read that, Ive Svorcina. But either way, here's the art. I think the art is very nice. And I might need your guys' help for this. So that one character that's fighting at the bottom, here's a better page. His name is Cody. The kind of tiny looking fella, even though he's not that tiny, he's normal sized. I don't know why it looks like that for the drawing. Who the hell was Cody? I don't even remember who that character was. I kept thinking about it. I was like, do I really need to go back and check out a couple of the other issues to find out who he actually is? If I can recall, I think, was he the guy that was in the club when they went to the club one issue? And she was talking to the one guy sitting in the back with all the girls around them, trying to get some info. I feel like that was him, but I just couldn't remember. And he played a bigger role in this issue. And I kept thinking, what was his role for the rest of the series? But everything comes together in this issue. We find out what basically the deceased husband's been up to, the whole cult, Satanist group, everything going on with them, everybody involved. There was a lot of action going on in it. And then we basically got an ending, everything that we were looking forward to. They wrapped it all up. But like I said, I just kind of thought it was a letdown. I guess I didn't really know exactly what to expect, but it just wasn't good like I thought. Trenton Wells. I've been reading, but I didn't remember Cody either. He was the original bodyguard. Oh, wait. That comment went away. Maybe that was wrong. John's Comics with Kids. What's up, buddy? So that was Black Tape. That was the only one I got from AWA. That was the only one that came out from AWA. And then we're going to be moving on to Harrower, issue number 4 from Boom Studios. This is surprisingly a pretty good series. I talked about this one. The first couple of issues, you just go into it thinking it's just going to be a slasher book, not a plot, not a lot of crazy stuff going on. Well, besides just a bunch of murders and stuff like that. But I didn't really expect a story from it. This issue was basically the entire origin of the Harrower, the entire origin of the town. There was a big fight between our main character and the Harrower himself. The whole town was there to witness it. It was a fun issue. I'm really surprised at it. The artwork, though, let's see if there's a good picture or a good one for you guys. I don't like the art. The artwork is continuing to be my only problem with the series. It's not for me. I don't like the colors. I don't like the style of the artwork itself. Let me get another page. That's a spoiler. I'm not going to spoil it. But like I said, this was a cool issue. Because if you can remember from the last one, what happened was our main character right there on the front, she kind of stumbled onto this whole gathering. And everybody was kind of cheering for her like, yeah, like you made it, like you did it. And she's just kind of literally like that on her hands and knees, like, what's going on here? Like, what's happening? Somebody else pops in, and he kind of starts to explain some things too. And that's when the Harrower makes his way in, and you learn everything. Not what I thought it was going to be, but still very interesting, very good. I want to hear your opinions on this one too. Because I initially started off talking some heavy shit on that series. K-Bar, I just saw your comment. Overall, you think it's worth a trade paperback pickup or skip? I think if I can remember, usually AWA's trade paperbacks are only $10. So I think $10 is worth it, 100%. But if it was $20, no. If you can find all the back issues for cheap, yeah, sure. But either way, it's just, as far as AWA goes, it's probably a middle tier book. Speaking of lower to middle tier books, we're going to be making our way into Image. Wait, no. We're not going to do Image yet. I got one more I forgot about the digital books. I always forget about the digital ones. Misspelled my first. Oh, Steven. Misspelled the first comment, but Cody in Black Tape was the original bodyguard for the dead singer. It was only mentioned like once. See, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about here. So you're writing a comic, and somebody's obviously reviewing this and reading this. Maybe they read it all at once. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they do over at AWA when it comes to editing and blah, blah, blah. But if you're just tuning in, we're talking about Black Tape again. Why would that character all of a sudden play such a massive role? I'm telling you, this was a huge role that he played in this final issue. Now, if that character sporadically made appearances throughout the series, then maybe, that makes a lot more sense. But to throw him in at the very end as this kind of hero or trying to be a hero, I thought that was a poor decision. Hey, Raul, go have a good night, buddy. Enjoy your dinner. Thanks for popping in. Let's see. So we're going to talk about, is it this one? Nope. No. All right, we're going to do The Neighbors. The Neighbors. I did not like those first two issues at all. I always mix up issues and episodes. I thought they were terrible. That first issue I thought was a very, very bad comic book. I didn't really like the art. I didn't like the writing. I didn't like the story. Had kind of a little interesting concept going on, but it was very overshadowed by all the other problems that the main character was having. So I just, I thought, I don't really care. I want to know what's going on with the rest of it, and I don't care about this person's problems. I just don't. Second issue was almost the exact same thing. We didn't learn anything besides that our main character had even more problems, and I don't know off the top of my head what the main character is transitioning to, if it's a girl or a guy. But whatever that character is transitioning to, he or she is talking about all of those problems. Everybody's staring at me. Everybody's saying this. And that character is getting angry with people. And it's like, well, what's going on with the creepy neighbors? What's going on with the daughter that apparently isn't the daughter anymore? It's something has taken over her body. Like, I want to know more about that stuff. And that really wasn't playing a role in this series. Now, however, with this third issue, it was a very last second read. I was like, you know what? I only got 11 books. Why not give it a shot? This was the best issue of the series. I'm not saying it was a really good issue, but I want to let you know that it was much better than the other two. It finally started to focus a little bit more on the town, the creepiness of everybody, and just all of the weird stuff going on. We finally got into that side of the story, and it was much better. And it's pretty much exactly what I wanted out of this series. We got to see the mom. She's got all these problems going on, and she kind of has a little mom-daughter date, and clearly something is off with the daughter. And as a mom, I feel like you would probably notice that something's really off with her. But I guess moving to a new town, stuff going on with her partner, it's, you know, her whole world's in a mess right now. But I thought it was a really good issue. I thought it was much better. Is anyone else even reading this series? I don't know anybody that's been reading this one. All my friends that I talk to, all the people at the shop, nobody has been picking this one up. Even the first issue, I don't know anyone that really read it. And then we'll do, all right, the other one is Dark Horse. Dr. Cosmos Lab, what's up, buddy? Let's see, is this, all right, the Blue Book. This is another one, man. So we got the Blue Book from Dark Horse. This is issue number 4. This is another one that I've been kind of back and forth on. I'm telling you, I started off the streams, everyone was saying it was a light week. It wasn't that good of a week. I told you, it was a little tough getting through a lot of these books. A lot of them were a little bit more on the slower side. Many of them just didn't have a lot of stuff going on, or some of them that were series finales. I thought they were just kind of letdowns, but that's not to say that there weren't good books, and we're going to be getting them shortly because we're going to be making our way into Image very soon. But I just, you know, like I said, some of these were a little tough. Blue Book number 4, I think issue number 2. I think it was issue number 2 or number 3, or no, it was number 3. I really like that we got to see Barney's side of the story in issue number 3. And now this issue number 4 was Betty's side of the story. So before I get into the issue, a couple people were commenting and talking about, so James Tynion's work, it hasn't been as good. People haven't been, they haven't been enjoying, I'm not saying just people in general, I'm saying this is when people have commented and they've talked to me about it. There's some people out there that have been saying, you know, he hasn't been doing that good of a job lately. They're not really enjoying a lot of his stuff. And I'm not going to say I agree, but we were talking about this on Tuesday. There's been a lot more misses than hits lately, in my opinion, coming out from Tynion. And the Blue Book, for an alien story, a dude who just kills it on horror. He's writing the Department of Truth. Great series. The Nice House on the Lake, whether you like it or not, it still individually had really good issues. I just, you know, it got extended into another volume, and people weren't expecting that. I don't think a lot of people knew that it was going to get extended, or they were going to do another volume, so people thought that it was going to end on that issue, and there really wasn't any ending that they were leading up to, and it just kind of led into the next upcoming volume. So individually, like, every issue was good, but as far as an overall story goes, it was boring as hell. I did not like The Closet at all. I thought that was terrible. And the Blue Book, my favorite issue from Tynion's Department of Truth was the alien issue. That little kind of one-off one that he did, that was phenomenal. And this, it's not him at all. It feels like it's not his style of writing at all. It's just this kind of, I don't know, Tell me if I'm wrong here, but it kind of strikes me as like a kid's book. If I had the rest of the book in front of me, I'd show you the artwork for it, but it's not. Yeah, like, so Luke Sims, he says he'll be making a comeback on World Tree. Totally agree. World Tree is awesome. I keep forgetting about that series though, probably because it's only one issue. He's great on Something Is Killing the Children. But now, when you look at Blue Book in comparison to all of those series, this doesn't match that at all. The artwork, the style of writing, the type of story it is, it's just not what he does. And Dr. Cosmos Lab says, I was very excited for this series and I'm so very let down. That's how I feel. I feel very let down because it's not what I was expecting from him. But at the same time, it's still not bad. It's not him at all. Like, if I picked this book up and I didn't know he wrote it, I would have never guessed. If you would have put 5 writers in front of me, I would have never guessed Tynion wrote this one. So now with this issue, last issue, as I was saying, it followed Barney, what happened to him when he went onto the alien ship. I thought it was cool. This one, it was Betty's side of it. And the way that the last issue ended, or I think the solicitation for this one, it said that Betty had a very different experience than Barney did. So I was thinking, ooh, maybe something really bad or something really creepy happened to her. Because according to Barney, he just got tests done to him. And it was like, they captured him or they abducted him, did the tests, and took him back to Earth, and that was it. And it's like, oh, okay, so nothing really. But when they were hyping it up, saying, ooh, but something else happens to Betty, it's not a pleasant experience, they were just friendly to her the whole time. It was nothing bad at all. One of the aliens was just like, yeah, we don't know anything about it. That's the other thing. All right. They kept talking about in the book that the aliens just had no idea about Earth, basically. So they're in somewhere out in space. And even Betty made some comment like, so where are you guys from? And he said, can you point to where you are in the galaxy on like this little map? And she's like, no. And he said, well, there's no reason for me to tell you then. They're obviously sophisticated. They've obviously got all of these things going on. And now they're talking to Betty and she's talking about vegetables and dying and old age. And these aliens are like, ooh, what's that? I don't know what that is. Can you explain what a vegetable is? Are you fucking kidding me? That didn't make any sense to me. They're so far advanced. They're testing these humans. They're testing them on all these things. And they don't know what these very basic human things are. I mean, granted, they're aliens. I don't know. Maybe I could look past that and say, yeah, they're aliens. They don't know that type of stuff. I feel like they should. They should be able to look at them and they say what a vegetable is and they should know what a fucking vegetable is. But the rest of the issue, one of the aliens was just super friendly to her the entire time. He's even talking about giving her a book like, oh yeah, take this back to Earth with you. Let people know, like, yeah, maybe we'll come back. I don't know. I thought it was stupid. But like I said, I just got done saying it's stupid and all these like kind of dumb, like silly things with it. It's not poorly written by any means. It's not like this garbage series like the one that came out from Marvel that I can't think of off the top of my head. Something like that. But it's a waste of money. I think, what is it, $5 for an issue? No. I think, let's see. So True wasn't a fan of Blue Book. It seems as though most people here aren't. KO's not a fan of Blue Book either. When these writers first come on, realize that they have fresh ideas, but as time goes by, the juices get used up. So most need to step back and reset. I feel like I'm not saying that's what he needs, but I just don't understand like where this came from, the Blue Book. Like, why did he make it so kind of cheesy and childish? It's not him. Trent Wells said, I haven't read the Blue Book this week yet, but I've been loving it so far. That's good. Very quick read, and if you already know the story, it's cool seeing it in comic book form. See, that's the thing. I don't know the story, but someone did tell me it was based on a true story, so I understand you can't really change it up all that much, but I still thought because it was Tynion, with all the stuff that he's done in the past, he would turn it more into like a horror kind of, I don't know, more. He's on razor blades. I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's not him. Because some try to ride the wave until the end. I agree with that too. Let's see. But that was that one. And then this is the last. I'm just going to do the last. Wait, this one? Yeah, all right. So that's the last digital book that I read. It's from DC. We got a brand new one called City Boy. This was really good. Let me get caught up on some of the comments. Dynamite, what's up, buddy? I don't know if I said hi to you earlier. I may have. I was mainly let down this week on my poll list, but Vanish had an interesting twist, and I can see the plot coming together and the buildup of what's to come. Everyone's hyping up Vanish. Everyone is really liking Vanish. I'm really happy for everyone. I think, what is it, seven issues now? I gotta go back and probably find a few. Let's see. I read before issue number 1 is based on. Yeah. Blue Book, everyone that's commenting it, Blue Book was based on true story. I don't know that story, but I do love aliens. I love the whole alien abduction stories. I always eat that shit up. Let's see. World Tree said is his magnum opus. All right. He said he thinks it's his best work and will be great. Austin. Tinian thinks that it's his best work and will be better than Something Is Killing the Children. Well, I'm excited for him for that one. I absolutely love Something Is Killing the Children, so I hope that I'm wrong and he's right. I hope World Tree is his best work that he comes out with, because I would love another just Something Is Killing the Children type hype story. Something that comes out and I'm truly looking forward to it. Something Is Killing Children, Noctera, Ice Cream Man, Silver Coin. Those are just a few off the top of my head. When I see those pop up for New Comic Book Day, it doesn't matter how bad the rest of the week is. I get so excited for those. I'm very happy when they come out, and I get over it. I get so excited for them every time. Let's see. Yeah, Steven, you're right. Creative folks might want to try something different and then come back. I don't blame them either. That's the thing. That's the thing that I always talk about with Marvel. Everyone hated Phase 4, including myself. It's just Phase 4 is really not that good. I didn't really like a lot of shows or movies. But I didn't hate them for trying new things. If you really look at it, all the shows are all different. You've got Moon Knight, which is kind of... Well, we'll start from the beginning. We've got WandaVision, which is completely different than almost everything that's been going on in the MCU at that time period. They have these different time period, like black and white, 60, 70 type episodes, and I loved it. It was different. It was unique. They had a kind of a sitcom type. I think there's a laugh track in there at one point, wasn't there? I don't remember. It's been a long time, but I feel like there was a laugh track in the background for a couple of the early episodes. That was awesome. And then you've got the Falcon Winter Soldier series, which is more on par with what the MCU was. Plot was a little light, not horrible, but it was just a lot of action. A lot of good action. It's what people liked. And then you've got Loki, which was such a good story. A little bit lighter on the action, at least until towards some things here and there, but it was mainly just a very well-told story, introducing a lot of characters, setting stuff up for the actual MCU, which is what people were looking forward to. And WandaVision did the same thing, and I guess to an extent, Falcon Winter Soldier did as well. So right there alone, those three are three different series. And then we moved on to Moon Knight. I don't think there's a show in between, but I think Moon Knight was the next one. And Moon Knight was kind of more like Loki. I don't think there was a ton of action, but it was just a story. I'm not going to call it a good story. I didn't like Moon Knight. I know a lot of people in chat did like Moon Knight, but it wasn't for me either way. And then you got Miss Marvel. That kind of brought in elements of humor, a little bit more towards a younger audience, I will admit that. But, just a nice feel-good story with Kamala Khan. I forget her real name. Damn, I can't remember her real name. No matter what, though, whether you like it or not, she was an absolute breath of fresh air, and she is just such a fun character for Miss Marvel. So, loved her in it. Series, good up until the end, but whatever. Then we went to She-Hulk. Complete sitcom, complete shit. None of the humor worked for me. I know it works for some people. Very comic book style. A lot more along the lines of a comic book compared to many of the other shows. Pretty much all of the shows. It didn't work for me. It worked for a lot of people. I was not one of those people. But still, I applaud them for trying something different. I think their casting has still been very good for the most part. And then I think has that been the last show, She-Hulk? Oh, I also missed Hawkeye. Hawkeye was like a nice Christmas show. Hawkeye was great. So I applaud them for trying all of these random things. I'd say overall Phase 4 was a failure, a big failure. But hey, you gotta try. They're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. And you can't really hate on them for that. Pedro didn't like Miss Marvel. She couldn't act her way out of a paper bag. I thought she did a great job. And I think she's the only reason I'm even looking forward to the Miss Marvel's movie. Oh, man. I like her a lot. Iman Vellani. I thought she did such a great job. Oh, that sucks. That sucks you didn't like her. But then She-Hulk, while She-Hulk did suck dynamite, I thought Tatiana Maslany, I think that's her name, I think she did a great job. Oh, man. I don't think she was phony. I think she hit the part perfectly for just like a teenage girl. She's going through high school. She got superpowers now. She has her crush. Ah, man, I thought she did a good job. But hey, I get it. To each their own. Like I said, I thought Moon Knight sucked. I thought She-Hulk sucked. Some people really like Moon Knight. Some people love She-Hulk. So that's the good thing about Marvel. You got the same thing with comics. Something different for everybody. She was definitely awkward. But that's why I thought she was good, because she played such an awkward role. Dr. Cosmos Lab. See, there we go. She-Hulk was adapted very well. Miss Marvel is just overall fantastic. Love the show. While most were kind of average, I do think people... See, that's definitely the problem, Terry, is the comparison's always going to come back to that. They're always going to say, well, Endgame and Infinity War were this. Well, they spent 10 years building that shit up. And yes, they did a phenomenal job. I think they knocked it out of the park. It was almost everything I would have liked to see. I thought Infinity War was better than Endgame, although Endgame had some really epic moments. I wish they would have utilized the Hulk better. I think that continues to be my main problem with the MCU, is they are just not doing the Hulk a service at all. They've turned him into this kind of bitch. Same with Thor. They're just not the cool characters that they were. But other than that, I mean, let's see. Did you enjoy the What If series? I actually didn't finish What If. I watched, I think maybe I did finish. No, actually I did finish it, I think. I thought it was good. I don't really like the animation though. I didn't really like that. It grew on me, but I didn't think it was good. I thought for Marvel they would have better animations, but same thing. Yeah, Kaiser, we were talking about it for a little bit, but it popped up for something. I don't remember. And we just kept going on with it. All right, but that's Kaiser's cue for me to get back on track. I get caught off all the time. Now, City Boy. This shit was awesome. I don't remember the main character's name. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sorry. I don't remember his name. Very unique concept. This whole issue, it's not a first appearance or anything. It is first solo series, to my knowledge. I'm pretty positive first solo series. I think he was in a Lazarus Planet thing before this and something else. And then this one was his whole origin. We got the origin of City Boy. We got to see his powers in action, what he's capable of. And I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with the issue because I think you guys should check this one out for yourselves. Like, honestly, I don't know. I'm a DC fan now, I guess. I'm really enjoying a lot of stuff that they're coming out with. I'm reading almost all of the new DC books. I'm enjoying all of the new DC books. I love the artwork. I think the stories have been really creative and really well done. And when I go back to read Marvel, I'm like, this is shit. So, let's see. Where are we at? That's the curve with the MCU slid down. Everyone's... Oh, shit, yeah. So let me finish that point at least. That's the problem with that I was having. All the comparisons to Endgame and Infinity War, they've been building that up forever. I totally understand that they need to do, not a reboot, but they need to start basically over. They need to have new characters. They need to build up to a new enemy. And I think that they're trying to capture Endgame Infinity War way too soon. Or they're not really doing anything to build up to the next Endgame Infinity War. Like right now, we saw Kang in Loki. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Ant-Man Quantumania, if Kang was going to play a major role in that movie, which he obviously did, why wouldn't you have some end credit scenes with Jonathan Majors in all of these TV shows? Why would you not just have a little something going on in the background to get people hyped up for it, instead of just all of a sudden, like, bang, throw his ass in there. Everyone's going to love it. It's Kang the Conqueror. They missed that, in my opinion. They really didn't build anything up. They didn't give people a reason to care about Kang. They had a year or 2 years. They had basically 2 years worth of content to hype this character up. And they didn't do it pretty much at all. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe he showed up in something, but I don't think so. I think, yeah, just Loki. I think only in Loki was the first time they had any reference to Kang. When in reality, they should have been doing that in WandaVision. I think Falcon Winter Soldier was right after that. They could have had 2 little build-ups, and then that's when they really introduced Kang the Conqueror, or whatever Jonathan Majors was in Loki. And that's like, oh shit, like we're really getting more and more of them. You got to build that hype up. You've got to make people interested. Same thing with Thanos. They spent all of those years just casually showing Thanos here and there, just having a tiny part in all of the movies, pretty much at the very end of it. And they didn't do that for Kang. And what happened with Ant-Man Quantumania? Like someone else just said, where is it? They dumbed down, there it is. Steven said, that's the curve the MCU slid down. Everyone's an adorable dummy now. They went to they want everyone to laugh. They want everyone to be goofy and funny. And Thor's just this bumbling idiot. Hulk's a fucking nobody. He's just this, I don't know. He's nothing. He got his ass whooped by some rocks in She-Hulk. Or the Jeep that he didn't want to destroy. I don't know. Ant-Man's doing great on streaming, by the way. I haven't seen it, though. So I'm not talking shit on that movie. I haven't seen it yet. Let's see. Yeah, they screwed Thor up big time. And I did read Supermassive. All right, now I'm going to get back on. We'll save this for another stream. So City Boy. Yeah, they made Drax an idiot too. Although he was kind of an idiot in the comics for not like that type of an idiot, but yeah, different stuff. So with City Boy, you get to see his powers. It's like he can kind of like see the city or speak to the city. And he's this homeless kid, and what he does is he uses the city. He can see where all these things are in the city, and he uses it to find valuables, to pawn them off to live. But a lot of other stuff happens in this issue, obviously. That's what's going to lead into the actual series. But I think they did a really good job breaking down this character for the first issue. We got to see his powers, how he got the powers, his upbringing, all that type of stuff, how he survives on the streets, and then they brought in kind of the main villain. The villain's okay. I'm not really seeing too many cool things about him so far. But hey, first issue, like the premise, definitely check it out, especially if you had a light week. Laugh my ass off. The premise sounds ridiculous. Well, this is actually what it says on. This is how they described it. Let's see. They said for City Boy, he's first seen in Wildstorm 30th Anniversary Special and Lazarus Planet Legends Reborn. All right, I thought so. There's a new Korean hero named City Boy. Actually, so I guess, Cameron Kim, that was his name. I forgot that before. Said he's just trying to make a living by using his powers of being able to speak to cities to find lost and hidden goods to pawn. Like I said, that's pretty much what the whole premise of the issue was. He hangs out with a homeless guy for a little bit, and some things happen from there. Like I said, that's how the main villain gets introduced. But overall, this was a really fun read. Honestly, it was a fun one. Me too, write down his cityscape on his hoodie. Oh, I didn't even notice that at first. I thought it was just some weird design. Make that bigger. Everyone else can see it too. Ah, that's cool. Even the black kind of looks like a city. Like, not the lines, but the filled-in black part. But those are all the digital books that I read. Oops. Those are all the digital books that I read. I thought that one was really good. And that was a really good catch. All right, now what everyone's been waiting for. We're going to make our way into Image. We've got 6 books to talk about this week from Image. They were good for the most part. Usually Image is like the go-to, but like I said, it was a rough week overall. First one we're going over, Radiant Pink, issue number 5. This is the series finale. I thought this series sucked. I really did. Here's some of the artwork. I'm going to show that off to you guys. Of all the things that I've read in the Massiverse, this is by far the worst series that I've read. I think the artwork is just okay. I think the cover is very cool. I will say that. And I honestly picked this up because, well, I was going to get it anyway, but I had to get this cover. I think it's very well done. Let's see. City Boys like Cypher speaking to Krakoa. I don't read X-Men. That's Something That's Killing the Children mask seemed like a total ripoff. Let me bring that back up. This one? Oh, shit. I didn't even think about that. Man, my man over here is catching all of it. Yeah, I see that. It kind of does look like the teeth that they have on the masks. Reminds me of the Power Ranger covers. Yeah, a lot of the Radiant Black covers do kind of have a Power Ranger-esque to it. So here's a little bit more of the artwork. And I'll tell you, this is why I don't like it. The whole series was like a love story to me. Everything about it was like a love story. They're talking about how, like, oh, I love you. Like, you need to stop doing this. Like, please don't do that. I care about you so much. And I just don't give a shit. I really don't. I'm not reading these books for love stories. I want, I'm picking up Radiant Black. You think I'm going into it for a love story? No, I want some action. I read this because it's a knockoff Power Rangers, and I'm a big fan of the Power Rangers. Sometimes I just need a book that, it doesn't really have a story. It's just some really cool action. And Radiant Black, for the most part, kind of has been that. They've been going back and forth on some of the story, but Radiant Red was really good with the story. But this one, I think her name is Eve or Eva, and she's just a Twitch streamer. She plays video games. Her sister helps her out for like a moderator. She helps her out with that type of stuff. And the rest, that was the intro to the first issue. And then that's when she met her love or whatever. And the whole rest of the series then has been her, the main character, and this other girl making it back to Earth. And they just built their relationship over the course of the entire series. And now with this one, I'm going to spoil some stuff real quick for it, but she has some sort of powers, and because of her powers, she's kind of slightly turning evil, and they duke it out, and it was just a very, very skippable series. I'll put it that way. I think Radiant, yeah. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, absolutely. At least they didn't make 50 Frizen mask covers for City Boy. They are getting old. Oh my god, those Something Is Killing the Children covers, those first few were so cool. And now you've got them for every single issue, and then they have them for, I think, House of Slaughter. And it's like, it was cool in the beginning, but you know what I mean? Gotta just give it a break. But we've talked about that too. Variants in general, just they need to cut back on variants. There's so many books out now that have that it's like normal to have damn near 20 plus variants for the book. Nobody's asking for 20 plus variants. They're just not. Radiant Black is the only one I liked, but I fell off from continuing. I don't blame you, Pedro. It's been slow. It's been back and forth. They've been doing a lot of random stuff in the series. I think overall it's been good, but in my mind, it's way better read as a trade paperback. It's definitely not nearly as good as reading it like month to month. I don't think that's the way to go. It's less expensive. It's less expensive for me to buy a hot book instead of buying 20 books a week. That's what happens when stories are crap. Yeah, too many variants too. Yeah, real deal. That's the other thing. There's so many times where I tell myself, just go digitally. There's so many books now that, do I really even want to read some of this stuff? Like, I don't know. I pick up a lot of things just because it's a new series and I hope for the best. But if we're being real here, financially, trade paperbacks, hardcovers, and to an extent digitally, because you can get them for cheaper, or if you can wait it out and pay just a monthly subscription for some of these, the books get loaded up on them. And I'm not going to tell you that there's not free websites to read comic books on, but they might be floating around on the interwebs as well, so you should take a peek at those when you have an opportunity. Save yourself some money. But like I said, I don't know if those websites exist. I just assume they do. Let's see. Kind of surprised that everyone just doesn't do girl covers on every issue. There are so many being speculated on. Oh my god, like the Power Girl ones? When I first started back in comics, I went digital on many books. I've always been against digital reading. I really have. I always said, well, speaking of, next one we're going to be going over is Terror War #2. It's like, I like to have a book in my hand. I like to hold it. I like to just, really appreciate the quality of the book. But a lot of times as the years went on, the books don't have good quality. Image is still great. Boom Studios, a lot of the publishers are great. I'm mainly speaking for Marvel. They have a lot of low quality books as far as like the actual quality of the book, not the story, not the artwork. So like there's a hot period where a lot of the books were just falling apart. I mean, you guys remember, I think it was 3 weeks in a row where I got a Marvel book and they weren't even stapled together at the one at the bottom. There's pages that were loose, or the pages were coming out and they weren't even connected. But we got Terror War #2. I thought the first issue was interesting. I don't think it was that great, but it was a nice concept, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna give it a shot. I really like Saladin Ahmed. He did a phenomenal job on the Miles Morales series, and there's some other stuff that he's done that I enjoyed too. Not the Star Signs. I thought that was bad recently, but I thought, you know, interesting concept. Saladin Ahmed. The artwork's pretty decent. Let me show you some of this art. Why not continue on with it? Somebody else mentioned earlier in the stream, asked if I read it, and they said they were a little disappointed in it. There it is, Todd. It was so disappointing. I don't know if disappointing is the right word for me to say for it, but I think it was very boring. I don't think anything happened in it. I don't think we learned anything. I don't think anything really progressed the story at all, and I don't think there's anything that happened in the second issue that if you missed the second issue and you picked up the third one, I don't think you would really miss out on anything. Because we still got the same squad right here. This one picks up where the last one left off, where that other group, which is why they were fighting, that was the whole beginning of the issue. They were fighting it out over the payment because the first group on the front cover said, no, we put the bounty out. And the other group said, nah, the thing is we don't care. We're going to take it anyway because we can and we will. And they just kind of dealt with it. They fought for a few pages, and the one on the front, they said, you know what, guys? We didn't get our money. Let's just go to the fucking bar. And they go to the bar to eat and drink and hang out or whatever, and then some more terrorists come to the bar, and that was the rest of the issue. They're trying to stop those terrorists, and those guys from earlier have to come and save the day. That was literally it. Nothing really happened. Nothing plot-wise. We didn't learn anything more about the terror monsters. So I don't think... Let's see what Todd said. Just thought the concept was fresh and then it had zero development. I think that's probably the best way to put it. Very unique concept. I think the artwork is cool too, but based on the first 2 issues, I don't think it's worth continuing on. I think if you're looking out for your finances, you're trying to cut your pull list down for a little bit, or maybe add something new, I think that's going to be better read as a trade paperback. I don't know how many issues they're aiming for that series, but I can't imagine it's going to be more than 10. Maybe it's like a 10 or 12 issue maxi series. But I might give it one more issue and go from there. But other than that, I'm probably not going to continue on with it. Trenton Wells, I'm with you on that. I like Terror War 2. 2 as in as well. Decent. But like I said, I thought it was a little boring. I thought it wasn't as good as the first one. I totally agree with that too. Because I think the first one, it had, like Todd just said, a very fresh concept. It was very unique. And they just didn't expand on a single thing. They just kind of went about their day and ended their day. That was it. So a little boring. Now we're gonna go with another one that, oh man, I feel like I'm dumping on this week. Jesus. Terror War, Radiant Pink, Thor, Black Tape, Harrower. Well, Harrower was good, but man, and then Neighbors, City Boy. City Boy is really good, and then Blue Book. I feel like I'm talking shit on all these books, because the next one I'm gonna go over is Supermassive. This was a $6 book. The artwork was really good. The artwork reminded me of, let's see if anyone else knows this one, the Boom Studios series 7 Secrets. It kind of reminds me of that style of artwork. Probably a little Power Rangers in there too. But I think I get more 7 Secrets vibes from this one. The artwork was great. So I will say, I'm reading... I always like to say I'm reading almost everything in the Radiant or the Massive universe, but I'm not reading Rogue Sun and I'm not reading The Dead Lucky. This issue deals with the Radiant Black characters, Nathan and Marshall, Rogue Sun, and The Dead Lucky. So by me not reading 2 out of the 3, I felt slightly lost, but at the same time, I wasn't I didn't feel like I couldn't understand what was going on. I just didn't know the characters that well, but they explained the plot of the story well enough for me to say like, all right, cool. I'm going to continue on with this. I'm going to read this and I'm hopefully going to enjoy it. I felt like it was, I don't know. I didn't think it was that good. The whole thing about it, this like massive, this is just a crossover little event book that they did between all of these characters. And the Rogue Son, he's trying to find the Holy Grail, like the actual legit Holy Grail, but he knows there's a big trial to get there, assuming it's actually in this place, and he needs to recruit some people. That's where the Radiant Black characters come in. That's where the Dead Lucky comes in. So they all team up together to try to get this Holy Grail. They go through different trials, like different kind of rooms, until they eventually get there. And I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end because there is a slight plot twist to it. Not a really good plot twist at that. I would have liked the actual plot of the story was them trying to get the Holy Grail because it grants you basically whatever powers. It's kind of limitless. The Radiant Black characters thought, oh, we could fix our Radiant Black issues because if you're reading Radiant Black, you know that they're having a lot of issues with the suit itself because they're both trying to be Radiant Black when in reality only one can be. So they're like, all right, the Grail's going to help with this. Something happened in Dead Lucky to that main character, so she told herself the Grail will help me with these problems. So I like that. And then they kind of flipped the switch on it, and it wasn't a good plot twist to me. But overall, Trent Wells said, first one had all the colorful and crazy... Oh, wait, different. Oh, yeah, all right, so that's still on the last book, Terror War. My bad. So Trent, everyone always says Rogue Son's been really good. But to me, that wasn't the issue with this, that I didn't read those. I didn't read Dead Lucky. I didn't read Rogue Son. I just thought it was still overall a boring story. And there was a couple times in here where I didn't feel like things were explained well enough. Not that because I didn't read the other series, but because it felt like it just like casually jumped around. And I was like, wait, what's actually going on right now? Like, one of the rooms, one of the characters got possessed, and I didn't realize that the character was possessed. I thought something else was going on. And then another character shows up, and then by the third room where they're all kind of fighting things out, it just kind of ended. I don't know. Was it worth $6? I don't know. I don't think so. I would have rather, I think, bought a different book for that price. But like I said, it was oversized. It's got a nice cardstock cover. $6 for it, though. So take that for what it is. Oh, shit. I don't know if you guys were reading this one too. Todd Mealy, he said it was a little disappointing. I talked to a couple of my other friends and they felt the same way. Now, out of all that shit that I talked on all those books, we are finally into the good ones. First one. Indigo Children number 3. This is cover A, which reminds me. I think everything has been cover A. Yeah, everything I got today was cover A besides Radiant Pink. This was cover B. So, Indigo Children number 3. This has been a great series. Has it been as good as The Ambassadors? No, but it's still extremely good. This one has been following basically the same script as the other issues, where it's kind of like... We're gathering the team together. We're going out. We're finding the other Indigo children, and we're going to figure out what's been going on with them. We're gonna get the gang back together, and we're gonna stop all these motherfuckers. So this issue, they're finding another Indigo child, and it was good because you get that character's backstory. You learn what happened to her, how she became kind of an Indigo child, and then what the other two from the last two issues are doing to go and find her. I think that was basically the entire issue. I don't think they really expanded on where they're going from there. Oh, they did leave us on a little cliffhanger as to what is going to happen next. That I'm not going to be talking about. But I like it because I think her name was Rose. Let me double check on that. Damn, there's always so many. All these comics, I mix all these names up. I think her name was Rose. Yeah, so her name was Rose. And what happens to her is she gets abducted as a child. A lot of things happen to her family. And the person that she gets, abducted by kind of takes her in as his own daughter. And, that's there's a process, and then she becomes an indigo child, whatever. And she's just living her life. She doesn't know anything. Just like the other indigo children, they just think they're regular people until something activates in them. And that's what happens to her when the other indigo children come to save the day. Another really good issue. I feel like for that, I just have to explain the premise. If I get into any details, it's kind of ruining the story, and I don't want to do that for you. Mainly because I do really like this series. And it is worth the read to me. And I think this is only a $4 book. Yeah, it's only a $4 book, so you definitely got to check this one out. Check out the other ones too. Really fun series. Then we've got the Ambassadors, issue number 5. Another really good series. And I see, what was it? Kaiser says, LNC is Lost in Comics. I'm almost positive. I guess that was his top read of the week. I don't think that's my top pick of the week, but it's absolutely up there. I don't know what my top read of the week was. There's a lot of just good books this week. Still haven't read it though. So next up, like I was saying, we got Ambassadors number 5. This is allegedly the penultimate issue. There's apparently one more. My honest opinion, there is not going to be just one more. There's definitely going to be another volume of some sort. This one was pretty much the exact same way as the other issues, assuming you're reading the story. We've got our main kind of leader right there. She's the one that has created all the superpowers. She's the one that created the ambassador program. And every single issue, she's been going to a different country and recruiting somebody to become an ambassador. And this time, we're in Australia. We get... yes, Kaiser. It does lead into big game. I gotta catch up on all of Mark Millar's stuff. I heard Nemesis was great. Nemesis Reloaded. All of that other shit. I've been hearing fantastic stuff. I gotta go back. I gotta find some of those trade paperbacks, or if they've got maybe a book with all of it in there together, I'm gonna need that. But like I said, allegedly there's only one more issue. This one focused on the Australian character, which is him right there in the front. He is an older man in a wheelchair, and obviously now he is a strong man, not in a wheelchair, because he is clearly selected to be the next ambassador. We get to see him kind of on a mission, but what I really liked about this issue compared to some of the other ones is that we finally got to see her ex-husband make an appearance in this one with his team. Now, I'm not going to talk about his team, but obviously, if you can recall from the first issue, she's competing to get the superpowers first to make it this team. He wanted to get the superpowers so that he could sell everything to the different governments, but now he, with his team, is coming after all of the ambassadors. I'm pumped. I think the last issue is going to be really cool, but like I said, I think they're going to be obviously continuing on with this story. And here's some of the artwork, because if you didn't know, all the art changes in every single one of these issues. Was that little... what's his name? Well, who was the grandfather in Breaking Bad? Hector Salamanca? Was that his name? Or is that Tuco Salamanca? Or are they all related? I literally think that's Hector from Breaking Bad. But either way, seriously, this is a very fun read. I really recommend checking it out. I'll show you another page too. Kaiser says Nightclub is very good. I read the first issue and I did really enjoy it, but I missed out on the other ones from my shop. Bang, bang. There we go. Hell yeah. And now we are down to the last book that I'm going to be reviewing this week. Come on, folks. You know what it is. We got What's the Furthest Place from Here. This is cover A. It's issue number 13. As always, kind of a little oversized issue, but if you read this series, you know there's not a ton of dialogue. Like, I'll show you... Oh, that's a spoiler page. I'm not going to do that. Here we go. So, like, this is what a good amount of the book is. Just not a lot of dialogue, just a lot of artwork, a lot of stuff happening. If you remember from the last couple of issues, they have been focusing on Sid and Sid's part of the story. We got to see those creepy monsters. We got to see the old folks home again, some of the other families. This one's going back to Alabama and Lafayette. Is that their name? Lafayette? I think that's his name. Yeah, Lafayette, Alabama and Lafayette. This is from them, and if I remember, they got taken, or they got captured during the circus, or they tried escaping during the circus and they got taken in. I was a little thrown off at first because I was like, wait, what? Who are these characters? What happened to them? But I'm pretty positive they're the ones that got captured from the main family during that whole circus ordeal, like quite a few issues ago. So this is them after getting captured. Obviously, they're in some sort of holding, some sort of prison. It was a really good issue. It was pretty much just them trying to escape the entire time, and with them slowly coming to the realization that they're stuck there. They are legit captured. They aren't going to be escaping. But there's a lot of stuff that happens in this one, and just another really fun issue. Yep, that's all right. Cool. Yep, that's absolutely right. First we've seen them since the circus. Like I said, I remember those panels of them leaving the circus, and I was like, I'm pretty positive that was them, because if I remember, they kind of took the hit so that everybody else could get away. So man, the series. Everybody needs to read this series. There's no doubt in my mind that this is just such a top-notch one from Image. They keep killing it. They keep showing us different aspects to this world, different families, and I love how it's all slowly coming together. Trent Wells says definitely going to be a volume 2 of Ambassadors, because someone was talking about it. Somebody was talking about it last stream or last week, whatever, and they were saying they think the 6th, maybe it was you. Somebody said the 6th issue is going to suck. And I was like, I don't think so. And they said, that's the final issue of the series. And I was like, no way. How's that going to be the final issue of the series? They're just introducing some of this stuff again. And they're going to continue on with it 100%. But folks, you know what time it is. We just got done reviewing all the books. And now we're going to be working our way into the tier maker. Oh man, this is my best. This is my favorite and least favorite part of the stream, because I always have a hard time putting these books in order. This week I'm gonna feel bad because there were quite a few books that I just didn't really like. They're going to have a hard time taking Nemesis down. Kaiser, I got to read Nemesis. I got to read Nemesis Reloaded. Kaiser, no, I ended up not getting Storm. I don't know. Everyone was talking about it, but then my shop didn't really have any positive things to say about the writer, and then I looked at the artwork, and I didn't think that was that good, and I don't really care about the X-Men to begin with, so I passed, and I think there was a few people in chat that said it was pretty boring anyway, or not that good, so cool. Alright, we're going to do this just like I did for the reviews. We are going to be starting off with Marvel, and then working our way to Image. And obviously for Marvel, the one and only book that I grabbed this week was Good Ol' Thor. Gee, folks, I wonder where the hell I'm going to be putting Thor this week. Right in a dumpster where it fucking belongs at D. I'm not getting into what I did earlier with this series. We fried it for probably a good 10 or 15 minutes. We even brought up some other dude's review or girl's review. I don't know why they didn't put a name with it. And they fried it too. They said the best part about it is the cover, and I totally agree. Everything is sporadic. Everything's all over the place. The artwork doesn't match the story itself. It's just not good. I don't know how long they're going to be continuing on this series for, but I feel like as soon as Donny Cates said that he's off of it, and they got a couple of issues out with this new writer, new artist, somebody at Marvel is like, no, we're done with this shit. Immortal Thor, let's get that ball rolling right now. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that's it. I can't. That's it. That's where I'm ending with Thor. It's just an absolute shame. I've been waiting so long for that ending, and that's what we're getting. All right. Then we're going to do, because I think all right. We're going to go with Blue Book next from Dark Horse. I try to get the ones out of the way that I only read one from the publisher. Kaiser, you are absolutely right. This is how Marvel loses readers. It really is. You know, I don't know when Donny Cates got off of the series, but I feel as though, I don't know how writing comics works. I really don't. I feel like what Marvel should have said was, Donny, if you want to be off the series, you need to wrap it up. If you want to take a break from the series, we'll put it on hiatus. We understand that you've got some shit going on in your life. But we want you to finish it. I feel as though they can easily respect whatever's going on in his life, but at the same time, as a business, they should also say, you've gone this far. We think that you should finish it. Whether it's you or... Yeah, I think that's it. I think they should have said, you know, you've gone this long. You've got something really good going on. The numbers are good for Thor. You should have to finish this book. And especially if they've only got a few issues left. And at the same time, I think they can 100% respect him in his decision for wanting to take a break and say, you know, you've got some life stuff going on right now. Whatever it is, it can't be that good. Take a break. We will allow you to put Thor on fucking hiatus, but we want you to do it. And I feel that way right there, Pedro. That is his responsibility. He said that he will write that book. And I know there's probably somebody out there right now saying like, oh, that's horrible for you to say. You know, this is totally off topic, but I feel the same way with, I'm sure some of you, there's 50 people watching right now. I'm sure some of you are in the same boat. With President Biden, he said about the student loan forgiveness. I have student loans, and I'm going to be real with you. As much as I would love for them to be forgiven, I don't think that sets a good precedent. I don't think that is a good thing to just allow people to think can happen. Oh, I took out all these bills. I took out all these loans. I can just get it forgiven. I don't think I don't think that's a good mindset. I took the loan out. I should have to pay back a loan. I got the education. Why should somebody else pay for it for me? Would I love for them to take it all away? Absolutely. But I don't think that's the right thing to do. Like Pedro just said, it's all about responsibilities. He said he will write Thor. Take a break. Take the hiatus. Take as long as a break you want. Take a couple months off, bud. You're apparently still writing for Vanish. And I think that's what makes it even worse. He's writing Vanish still. So, I don't know. Sean, what's up, buddy? Just in time, man. When I was writing this on the chat lines, people kept making excuses for Donnie, which is wrong in my opinion. See, that's the thing. I don't want to make excuses, and I want things. I hope things are good for him. I truly do. I hope he comes back strong. I hope whatever he's dealing with in his life, he gets over it. I hope he can move on peacefully and, just to make his life better again. People love his comics. Even if I'm not a big fan of a lot of his books, people are. There's 52 people watching, and I'd be willing to bet at least 30 to 40 of them absolutely love Donny Cates' writing. Seriously. If I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong, but people love him. Whether you want to believe it or not. But that's what it is. You made the commitment. Same thing with Hulk. Those are two top tier characters for Marvel. Hulk and Thor. You took on the responsibility for both of those characters, and I just feel as though you should finish it out. Even if maybe you had an idea for Thor, maybe 40 or 50 issues, and you want to end it now at 35, go for it. End it at 35 then and say, hey, my fans, I'm sorry. I'm going through some shit. I wanted to give you the best possible thing that I possibly could. I need a break, and this is what I can do for you right now. People would understand that. People would absolutely understand that. Say, he's got shit going on. He did what he could. He wrote it the whole time. Ended it as best as he could. But instead, he just quit. And I don't like that. It's unfortunate because he is still writing his own book. Yep, Michael, that's literally it. Because he's still writing his own book. It reflects his commitment to Marvel. Not sure Marvel or DC will use him again. If he stopped everything, it would be different. And that's how I felt. I thought, because everyone's saying, and I saw a couple people make videos about Donny Cates, what's going on with them, and I'm thinking, he's not gone. He's writing Vanish. I don't know what else. Your video, and you should say he's off Marvel. He's not off comics. He's not gone. He's not missing. Hell, Vanish has been coming out. Even when they said like Donny Cates is done writing. No, Vanish came out like a week or two later. So I don't know. Same with Ram V on Venom, very disappointing. I felt the same way, although I think that series was doomed from the start, having two writers on it like that. I think they had two conflicting ideas, and it just didn't work for me. I don't think it worked for a lot of people. But it did suck to see he was the one that got off of it. If it was Al Ewing or Ram V to get off of Venom, I would have preferred it to be Al Ewing. And I can kind of understand Venom, because maybe Ram V's heart wasn't in it like maybe he thought it was, or maybe he felt the same way, like, too many ideas are conflicting, and he just passed the reins over just to Al Ewing and said, you know, Al, just take it over. You got it. I can get that. Hey, Eric, what's going on, buddy? Not fair to the subwriter too. She has to land that plane suddenly. And that's why I always, and that's why I feel bad saying, like, I don't think the story's good and I don't like it at all. Because she got thrown into it. And that's the same way that I felt with Ryan Otley. They're like, oh, Ryan Otley's doing a horrible job on Hulk. What's he supposed to do? That's the same way with this. While I'm not a fan of how it's written and I feel like it is all over the place, what can she do? She got thrown into a bad situation to just kind of like, all right, Torrin, just wrap it up, and we're gonna move on to the next series. Sorry, but this is what you're gonna do. I feel bad for her, and I feel bad for saying it sucks, but it's not good. And I think that's because she just got thrown into it. She probably had to quickly read the entire series, understand where Thor. Think about it. She has to suddenly pick up this book. Think about where Thor's mind's at, Odin's mind's at, all of this stuff that's happened in the series, all of these minor details. She's probably talked to Donny Cates about what his plans were, but she's the one that has to figure it all out and come up with it ultimately. It's not like he has it written. So I feel bad when I always say it's not good, but she got put in a really bad situation. Trent, a few minutes behind everyone, but what's the first place from here has been up and down for me. Oh man, dude, I love that series though. Yeah, Pedro, to carry on that plot and to it sucks. All right, back to the list. All right, next one we got today for you guys. We got Dark Horse's Blue Book, issue number 4. It's not what I want to read. It's not what I thought it was going to be. Is it bad? No. Is it Tynion? Absolutely no. It's not what I'm used to from him. The artwork is just okay too. I thought Barney's story was better than Betty's story, but overall still decent. I think C is fair. What do you guys think? I think a B is too good for this one. So KO, is he paid off all his loans? I'm not. That's how I feel. I got to pay off all my loans. I got into the mess. I can get myself out of the mess. But I'm also not going to complain if the government says we'll take that mess off your hands. Hard-hitting writers on a slump. See, Kaiser's with us too on this one. Damn. Everybody's on that train right now. So, like I said, I think C's fair for Blue Book number 4. Let me know what you think, where you guys would rank it. It seems as though everybody is in agreement with Thor. And then we've got, I think, one book from DC, one from AWA. We're going to do AWA first. This is another one. I think overall the series was all right. I think it actually got worse as the series progressed, but overall, I think K-Bar asked earlier, is it worth reading as a trade paperback? Yeah, I'd say it's worth reading as a trade paperback. Would I go out of my way to find all 4 issues, like single issues? No, I really wouldn't. It decent. I'd put it as a B. I think B is a good baseline for it. Not good, not bad. Interesting concept of the story. Solid art from what I remember. Let me take another quick peek at it. I think the art, I don't want to say the artwork was really good. But I do think it was, the artwork's really good. I'm going to show you guys real quick. Yeah, I like the artwork. I gotta make sure real quick. Yeah, you can get caught off guard with some of these AWA books. This one's got nudity in it, and I just thought about that. I was like, oh, I was showing off pages before. There's nudity in this one. Although YouTube's policy, if I can recall, nudity in media is not the same as actual nudity, like if I was nude. So you can show pictures off and stuff like that. Don't quote me on that, but I'm almost positive I read that because I actually, one of the streams, I think I put one of the pictures up there that that had nudity. I was like, oh shit, I I was like, uh-oh, that might not be good. But like I said, I think they deemed that as a whole different thing. Government garnished my paycheck from my student loans. Damn, that sucks. Student loans are no joke. Pedro, I'm with you, though. If it's free, it's for me. If it's not free, it's not for me. Shells Art and Stuff, what's up? All right, so we got those 3 down. Let me know what you guys think so far of this list. Moving on to DC. We got City Boy, number 1. I really liked it. I honestly really liked it. This is an A. This is an A tier book. This is like an A+ to me. This was really good. Was an S. I think, I read it digitally. I think the only thing that holds me back from putting it as an S was kind of the villain at the end. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was good, or I didn't think it was bad, but it's not, I guess, what I was expecting. I like the origin of City Boy. I like his powers. I like that he's not some superhero. He's just kind of this dude with powers that's at the same time homeless, and he's scrounging around the city looking for things to sell. I like it. I think it's cool. But the guy at the end, like I said, if that was a little different, I think it would have made its way into S tier. But right now I'm putting it as a A+. Kevin O'Shea, what's up? Working Class Proms. I feel you, bud. I feel you on that. Let's see. And then we've got Boom Studios next. Horror. We're going to go Horror number 4. Let me double check. I think it's 4. Horror number 4, folks. This is another good issue. The artwork is an absolute drawback. I'm not really a fan of the artwork at all. Let me show you again. The artwork. Just not for me. Not my style. Not the colors. Just didn't do it for me. I like the twist that got thrown in there. I like the origin of the town. I liked how creepy everybody was. This is turning into a good series. I'm not sure how many issues they're supposed to be doing with this one, but I'm about it. I've had my issues with the other ones so far, but I think this one sneaks its way into an A-. It just sneaks into an A-. Only because there's a few times where I was like, oh, wow, like, this is cool. Like, wow, this is awesome. I audibly caught myself saying, wow, I think twice in this one. So, good for that series. I like how far it's come. In Axis, you bash on Marvel, but I'm reading Daredevil, Punisher, Ghost Rider, Invincible Iron Man, Captain America, and I enjoy all 5 of them. I do like Daredevil. I really like Punisher, although I'm behind on that. I stopped reading Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty. I thought it was okay. I didn't want to continue on with it. And I did drop Invincible Iron Man. I thought it was good up until the big reveal. And then I thought it got boring. I didn't like the 2 issues after the reveal. But Ghost Rider, I read up to issue 7 and I did really like. I missed out on a couple of issues from my shop, but everyone keeps talking about how good it is. So I do bash on Marvel. I will take a mean dump on Marvel with a lot of things I say, but there are some good series still. But that's the thing. Like, you're reading 5, they consistently come out with like 18 to 20 books every single week. So, when in reality, while those 5 are really good, you could probably go weeks with only 1 or 2 issues that you're getting. Because the rest of them, like ASM, the other Spidey books, most of them aren't that good. All the 5-issue miniseries, for the most part, they're all cash grabs and not really that good either. But to each their own. That's why comics are awesome. I prefer, like Kaiser just said, Image runs storytelling circles around Marvel. I like the uniqueness of a lot of these stories. It's my personal take that the superhero genre, which is crazy because you're looking at this, like, the whole wall and the indies and all that shit. The superhero genre, while I grew up with it, and I think it's still very cool, I don't like to get overloaded with it. I'm cool with a couple issues a week, but it gets to the point, and I was getting to that point when I originally was only getting Marvel, that I felt bored reading all of the books. I felt, wow, another superhero book. It's the same fucking thing over and over again. None of these stories are really unique. But then, like you said, you hit one of those, like, say, Daredevil, Punisher, Ghost Rider, where you're like, whoa, this is really good. So you're just sifting through all of the garbage that Marvel's putting out to get to that series. So I always say to each their own, and I hope that you find those really good books. but there's just not many good ones from Marvel in comparison to the amount that they usually put out. While you have Boom Studios, who puts out maybe 4 or 5 books a week, and Image usually floats around 10 or 11. And I think Image, out of those 10 or 11, more of them, are, more times than not, are good every single week. Let's see. I will admit from Bone Factory, Captain Britain is trash unless you're a longtime Captain Britain Excalibur fan. Oh, I heard Captain Britain is legit garbage. I read both Ghost Riders. I didn't read the other new one, the Danny Ketch one. Venomverse, ASM Deadpool, blah, 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 blah. Do you like all of them, Shell's art and stuff? Because I'm not an X-Men fan. I just don't really care about it. The Spider-Man 2099 and Carnage Reign shit, I'm not doing it for me. Venomverse, same thing. But like, look at what you just mentioned though. Venomverse, the Spider-Man 2099, which also deals with Carnage, and then Carnage Reign's crossover, which is like the little event thing that they're doing. It's all the same crap. It's just a different character with the same thing going on. I'm getting a little over it. Hellcat, not for me. But then Immortal X-Men. Most of Marvel is Spider character, X-Men, Star Wars at this point. It really is. No kids. There are no kids here. They don't read comics. Yeah. At this point, they really don't. Most of them. I used to bash Marvel and DC, but DC, I'll tell you what, I used to bash DC. Before I went to the whole, I don't read DC or those characters really aren't for me, I bashed DC. My early videos, I used to say, nobody cares about DC. DC sucks. I would say that all the time. And I'll always admit if I'm wrong. I always say, I used to say this, I was wrong. DC has come a long way. Like Kale just said, A for City Boy, art is beautiful. It really was. The artwork was fantastic, and it was a very unique, awesome story. All right. That was the Harrower, though. That was a good one. I've heard good things about Wolverine, too. I read, like, the first 10 issues, maybe. Not 100% how many I read. Then we've got... What's up next? Boom Studios, I got 2 books for, so I'll get those out of the way. What is this? Wait, did we? Oh, wait, what's the other? Oh, I just did that one. The other one we've got is The Neighbors, issue number 4. Maybe? I think it's 4. Maybe it's 3. Either way, we got The Neighbors up next. This one, to me, this is another... so, The Neighbors was actually a really horrible series. I don't like it. Issue 3 was the best one of the series. It started off the same way as the other ones, where I was telling myself, like, oh my god, this again, we're still harping on this character and all of this character's problems. Like, what is going on with everything else? After the first, like, 4 or 5 pages, it jumped into all the creepy and weird shit going on in the town, and I was thinking, like, this is great. This is what I want out of the series. So for all of that, I'm going to put it at a B. It wasn't bad enough for a C, and I actually did enjoy the second half of that issue. And that second half of the issue, this is why it got a B. The second half of that issue made me want to read the next one right away. And I thought, damn, am I telling myself I'm going to keep reading The Neighbors after I completely shit on those first couple of issues? So I am going to continue on with it. The second half was way better, and it made me a little excited for it. Breezy, man, you didn't have to do that. I really appreciate that. AR, my boy, keep up the great work. Love you, bro. Man, you rock. I appreciate the donation. You didn't have to do that at all, man, but thank you so much. Bone Factory, I was holding down The Neighbors in hopes of a slow burn. It's not for me. I don't think it's a good story. Same writer that did Maw, and I thought Maw was fucking garbage too. But like I said, the second half of this issue, where they really got into what's going on in the town, well, they didn't even explain it. They just showed how kind of everyone's in on it, and there's something weird going on. Damn, down goes the light. That's, like I said, that's what makes me think, like, all right, I might have to continue on with this. I want to know a little bit more now. But I swear, if I pick up that next issue and it goes right back into that one character, just feeling bad for him or herself, and just all constantly talking about their problems, I'm done. And now we have snuck our way into all of the image titles of the week. We're going to be going with Radiant Pink. Hot garbage, in my opinion. Like I said, that's what it is. It's a pity party. And it's funny because the characters are also talking about it being like a pity party. Like, oh, I'm so tired of you saying this and feeling this way. But the problem is that character didn't start talking about that until like halfway through this issue. The first 2 issues and then a quarter of this one was the same exact thing. Like, oh, I need this. I can't go here. I can't be this. I can't go out and do this. I can't talk to this person. I can't go outside. I don't give a fuck. I don't. Just get on with the story at this point. You've been talking about the same shit the whole time. All right, Radiant Pink. This one, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm putting this in at a D too. It's not even on Thor's level. Thor would be on the Marvel level at the underneath D. I always make that joke. I want to put a Marvel tier level on there. But despite them both being at the D, it's a big difference between them both. It really is. Thor is on another level. Radiant Pink is really bad in its own way, though. Let's see. I'm very happy it's over. That's cover A, by the way, the little one that you see. Let's no donate. No, we don't have to do that, buddy. You don't have to have a donation war. Let's see. And then we're going to be moving on to Supermassive. What do you guys think about Supermassive? I mean, I saw a few people saying it was just all right. It was a little boring. Blah, blah, blah. Charizard. You didn't have to do that. But thank you so much. What's the little sticker? I'm not rich. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't want anybody doing that. You don't have to do that at all. If you do, I appreciate it. But seriously, don't have to do that at all. C plus. I agree. I think the artwork alone puts it on a good level, but it really was just like, I don't know, it felt like a whole lot of nothing. It was like, all right, next room. Not really explaining a whole lot of shit. The characters just kind of felt like they were thrown in together, and for whatever reason, they just felt like they had to team up. But like I said, I didn't read Rogue Sun and I didn't read Dead Lucky. Maybe there's a little bit better stuff going on in there that made this story easier read. But I felt like without reading that, I still had a good understanding of the characters and what was going on. But Supermassive, it's going behind Blue Book. I did like Blue Book as a story. There's nothing crazy going on in it, and there was a few parts I thought were silly and didn't make a whole lot of sense because they were aliens. But it still wasn't a bad read. It's not good for the price. I think it's $5. So it's not good for the price by any means. But it's not some unbearable story that you're reading it like, oh, this is horrible. But Supermassive, it was very long and it felt drawn out, and it didn't feel worth the price. It didn't feel like it was worth my time. So I think C is a good spot for it. Now we're going to do Terror War. And I think Terror War is another one that it wasn't bad and it wasn't good all at the same time. The thing is with Terror War, I'm not even sure if it's good enough to be on a B. Like, B is just a nice middle baseline. Not great, not bad. I enjoyed it. I don't even know if I enjoyed Terror War. I was flipping through the pages, reading it like, nothing's going on. We're not accomplishing anything. We're not progressing for anything. We're not learning more about these characters, the terrors. I was just flipping pages, looking at shit that was going on, and they were just casually talking amongst each other. So for that, I'm actually going to be putting that under the Supermassive. Oh, Breezy, I'm not even getting started on the Spider-Verse series. I'm not picking any of that crap up. Wish they would come out with an MMPR. VR Troopers. What's VR Troopers? Am I stupid right now? What am I thinking? I'm trying to think of what VR Troopers are. I would say B is slightly above. Yeah, I think B is slightly above average. I think B is more of a I like it type of a level. Like Black Tape I liked. I mean, it was kind of boring. I guess it wasn't boring. It's just, I didn't think the ending was what I was hoping for it to be. Some of the stuff didn't make sense, but overall, still decently enjoyable. Same with that. But these other ones, they're just okay. Ooh, first issue's better. No. You know what? I think I gotta take City Boy, Texas Snake. I think I gotta take City Boy. Vigil was good too, but I actually really enjoyed City Boy. Let's see. So we got 3 more now. We're going to be going with Indigo Children. Indigo Children's great. This is going to be an A. No doubt in my mind. I like City Boy more, though. I really did. I keep talking about it, but I thoroughly enjoyed City Boy. It was a really fun read. Joseph L., what's up, buddy? Is 30 days normal for CGC status to be scheduled for grading? I haven't sent things into CGC in probably a couple of years now, but I know CGC got their shit together. Oh, yo, I read that first Charles Art stuff. I said City Boy is bad, 90s bad. I was like, oh, wait, no way. I was like, City Boy's great, but it's wicked awesome. All right, I got you. And then we got next. So it's Terror War. Get these out of the way. Down to Ambassadors, and what's the furthest place from here? Ambassadors. Oh, these are tough. These are tough. Oh, Kaiser. Like I said, I keep hearing Nightclub's really good. Ambassador is another good one. I gotta put it. Whew. Where do you guys think? All right. I know where I'm gonna put it. Where do you guys think you're gonna put Ambassadors at? Let me show off some of the artwork again for you guys. Another really good story. Another good setup. Another good one. Kaiser says A+. I'm putting it, yeah, it's got to go above City Boy. I think both are A+ though, but I liked Ambassadors more. And then finally, what's the furthest place from here? Issue number 13. Is it my pick of the week though? I don't know. I did thoroughly enjoy it. Does it deserve an S tier? Does it deserve an S? It doesn't deserve an S. And that's where I'm going to put it. Middle of the pack A. So my pick of the week was going to be The Ambassadors, issue number 5. Although City Boy is a very strong runner-up. What's the furthest place of here was very good. I really enjoyed it. I love how we got to see where the characters are now. I like where they are. I like the stakes that they have. I like how things are getting a little tough for them. And they feel like there's no way out. I like how they brought in the wild kind of family. Like the weird wilderness ones. I like how they brought them into this issue. Overall, it was a phenomenal issue. Just like those other ones. But I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't think there were any S-tier books this week. As much as I did enjoy Ambassadors, City Boy, what's the furthest place from here? Hell, even Indigo Children. None of them were S-tier in my opinion. I think they were all extremely good in their own unique way. I think they really brought a lot more to the story, especially Ambassadors. They're setting up the final issue. City Boy was a great origin story with an introduction to the character. What's the furthest place from here? I love seeing Lafayette and Alabama again. I loved what's going on with them. Indigo Children, we got introduced to another new Indigo child with a great origin story for her too. Much better than the other one in my opinion. And even Harrower was good, but those 4 alone were just phenomenal reads. But that's it. All A's. No S. Yeah, it was more of a slower week. But everybody, that's a wrap. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but I am definitely sweating right now. It's a toasty one in this room today. I got all the lights, all the computers and stuff is a little toasty. But everybody, thank you so much, chat. You guys were awesome. I love talking comics with you guys. I had a blast talking this week's new books, despite it just being, I guess, overall kind of an all right week. Seriously, I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed your books. I hope you're able to get all of your books. Let me know what your favorite read of the week was. If you guys want to join the Discord, it's free. We're up to, I think, almost 60 people now. We talk about a lot of new comic stuff. It's a great time in there, too. Let me know if you have any questions about it. Thank you so much again, everybody. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Have a safe weekend. And stay tuned. We'll see you in the next one. Love you guys. Peace out.